Jai Shri Ram. So today we begin with 105, Canto 105. The summary of the canto. Bharat implores Sri Ram to oblige him by accepting the throne of Ayodhya, being offered by him to Sri Ram with the concurrence of Kaikeyi, even though bestowed on him by their deceased father. Consoling Bharat, who held himself responsible for Sri Ram's exile to the forest and was languishing with sorrow on that score, Sri Ram, however, tries to pacify him in various ways and urges him to shoulder the burden of rulership. So that was the summary of the canto. Now we begin the chapter. The night subsequently passed away in sorrow in the case of the said tigers among men, accompanied by those near and dear ones, while the former were grieving. Having offered oblations into the sacred fire and muttered their prayers on the bank of the Mandakini, when the night had been vividly received by dawn, the aforesaid brothers, accompanied by their near and dear ones, sought the presence of Sri Ram. They all sat down, mute, none spoke anything. Bharat, for his part, made the following submission to Sri Ram in the midst of his near and dear ones. My mother Kaikeyi has been consoled by you, and this kingdom of Ayodhya bestowed on me, I hereby return it to you. Please enjoy it without impediment. Just as a dam breached by a mighty onrush of water during the rains cannot be easily repaired, this large state of Ayodhya cannot be easily held in one sway by anyone other than you. The power to emulate your ruling capacity does not lie in me, O ruler of the globe, any more than the power to emulate the gait of a horse in a donkey and the flight of Garuda, the carrier of Sri Vishnu in a common bird. Know his life to be blessed from day to day, who is dependent upon by others. Life is, however, dragged on with hardships by him who depends for his life upon others, O Ram. For example, a tree planted and nurtured by a man develops in course of time into a mighty tree with a stout trunk hard to scale for a dwarf. But when, though laden with flowers, it does not bear fruit, the man does not experience the same delight which he expected from it due to his failure to reach the consummation for which it was planted with effort. This is only an analogy. O mighty armed brother, be pleased to make out its meaning, since you, our supreme master, do not care to instruct us, your servants, on this occasion when it becomes you to protect us. Let the guilds of traders of every class and their leaders behold you, the subduer of enemies, seated on the throne like the sun blazing on all sides, O great king. Likewise, let the elephants in rut trumpet in the course of your return journey to Ayodhya, and let the ladies living in the royal gymnasium, fully collected in mind, rejoice to see you returned. Hearing the submission of the celebrated Bharat, supplicating as aforesaid, Sri Ram, the citizens of every class assembled at Chitrakuta acclaimed it in the words, well said. Perceiving the said illustrious Bharat wailing as above, afflicted as he was, Sri Ram, who was self-possessed and self-disciplined, comforted him in the following words. Freedom of action does not belong to the embodied soul, since this soul is powerless, unlike God. Providence alone forcibly drags the soul hither and thither. All accumulations end in attenuation. All elevations end in degradation. All unions end in separation. All life has its end in death. As no fear from any quarter other than a fall awaits ripe fruits, so no fear from any quarter other than death awaits a man come into the world. Even as a house, though supported by stout pillars, collapses on getting old, so men fallen into the clutches of old age and death breathe their last. The night that passes away does not return in any case. The Yamuna meets without fail the all sufficient ocean abounding in water. Passing days and nights quickly end the lifespan of all living beings in this world, even as sunbeams suck up water in summer. Grieve for yourself alone. Why do you grieve for another? In fact, the lifespan of each and every creature, whether staying at home or departed from another place, gets shortened every moment. Death even walks with us when we are walking and remains seated with us while we are seated. Nay, having travelled a very long distance with us, death returns with us on our return. When folds have appeared on the skin of the limbs and the hair have turned grey, but by what expedient will a man worn out with age be able to control them? Men rejoice when the sun has risen and also rejoice when the day has ended, but do not perceive the ebbing of their life. People rejoice to see the approach of a season, say the vernal season or the monsoon, as though it had appeared for the first time. But they forget that with a change of season comes about the gradual waning of life of living beings. Even as two pieces of driftwood come together on the surface of an ocean at a particular moment of time, and having come together in this way, drift apart on reaching a particular moment, so wives and sons, as well as relations and riches, part company after coming together, for inevitable is their separation. No living being in this world can escape the destiny or in the shape of birth and death when the time comes for it. Hence, the power to avert his own death does not inhere in a man, even though mourning again and again for a dead person. How can he who has got on the inevitable path trodden on by his forebears, viz., his father, grandfather, and so on, and from which there is no escape, even as one standing on the roadside would cry to a group of travelers passing by, I shall also follow at your heels, and would forthwith follow them, mourn for his parents and other departed relations. Foreseeing the inevitable end of one's ebbing life, which does not return any more than a stream, one's own self should be employed in a pursuit leading to blessedness, for living beings are declared as pursuing happiness. Our father, the king, the lord of the earth, was a virtuous person. He performed almost all extremely auspicious sacrifices and paid plentiful sacrificial fees to the officiating priests and Brahmins. All his sins were washed away, and so he went to heaven. On account of properly maintaining the servants, protecting and guarding the subjects, and realizing taxes in the manner prescribed by scriptures for them, our father has gone to the heaven. Our father, Dashrath, the Lord of earth, has reached heaven on account of his performing all auspicious acts desirable and performing many sacrifices involving heavy sacrificial fees. Having propitiated the Yajna Purusha by performing different types of sacrifices, enjoying worldly pleasure in plenty, and having lived a long and virtuous life, the Lord of the earth has gone to the heaven. Having obtained a long life and worldly luxuries, the father from the Raghu dynasty has gone to the heaven, coveted and honored by the virtuous people. Oh dear, he is not at all to be lamented upon. Having shed his worn out human frame, our father has surely attained celestial wealth in the form of an ethereal body, etc., which enables him to sport even in the realm of Brahma, the highest heaven. No highly wise, learned, and exceptionally clever man such as you and I are ought to grieve for the emperor. These manifold griefs, as well as wailing and weeping, should in that case undoubtedly be given up under all circumstances by a resolute man possessed of wisdom. As such, be at ease, let not grief overpower you, and returning home, dwell in that city of Ayodhya. So have you been enjoined by Father, a master of his will, O dwell among the eloquent. I too shall do the bidding of our noble father, continuing in that very place where I have been enjoined to stay by that emperor of virtuous deeds. It is not justifiable on my part to flout his command. O subduer of foes, he ever deserved to be honored even by you, since he was our friend, he was our very father. Though through my action in the shape of sojourning in the forest, O scion of Raghu, I shall obey that very command of my father, which is thought highly of by those practicing virtue. O a pious man seeking to conquer the other world, O tiger among men, ought to be kind-hearted and obedient to his elders, fathers and others. Keeping in view the virtuous conduct of our father, King Dashrath, O dwell among men, direct your thoughts only towards the welfare in the other world of your spirit in consonance with your pious nature. Having tendered to his younger brother, Bharat, in about an hour, the aforesaid significant advice, urging him to carry out the benefits of their father, the high-souled and almighty Sri Ram became silent. Thus ends Canto 105 in the AYODHYAKAND of the glorious Ramayan of Valmiki, the work of a rishi and the oldest epic. Jai Shri Ram.